Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. And we're here with another AMC financial astrology update that we do each and every week. And last week was pretty interesting. We saw some pretty positive movement. We had a few green days, and for the second week in a row, which I called out last week, we had a green day on Fridays. Okay, so to me, to go green on Fridays, we haven't been doing that for a long time. I feel like we're gaining power. However, on this phase, we didn't get any big jumps on the full moon. We didn't get any big jumps really on this waxing phase. So you can see here in the blue backgrounds, and that's when we go waxing, that we basically consolidated in the channels that are already had put in here, okay? So if you see here, the high from the last, the medium range from the last waxing was around this 438 level. That's where I had this drone because we had the medium range around that level 2 in the last waning. And so we basically hit that a couple times, and it's been a pretty good line of resistance. So I literally have just kept that there. And then on this waxing, our lowest point was around that $31 mark. And we literally been bouncing off this line. We dipped on it a couple times in this waning period, but barely at all on this last waxing period, okay? So the AMC definitely looks like it's still moving with the moon phases. It's just not making any big moves with the moon phases. It's literally just kind of bouncing back and forth within these existing channels. Now, this full moon, which does fall on Sunday, the 22nd, so this is tomorrow after this video. And so Monday, I did say last week, we could get the full moon push potentially on Monday. But I will say if we don't get it on Monday or some type of climax energy on Monday, some big move on Monday, this full moon period is not going to give us any type of big move, okay? We did grow on the waxing, and to me that's good. Even though the growth was really small, we still grew on the waxing. So that's a good indication that we're following the moon phases. You can easily see right here, we grew a little bit on this waxing. We dropped on this waning and then grew again on this waxing. Now on this waxing over here, we definitely grew, right? But we had the full moon pop, okay? And then a day before the full moon, we had a nice little pop, nice little size of volume. Day after the full moon, we had a big pop. And the day after that, we had another big pop, okay? So that full moon was an eclipse. It carried us past the full moon time. So it is possible that after this turns to the black background on Monday, we could be in this type of time frame, okay? Not to mention this is a blue moon, full moon, meaning it's the second time we're having a full moon in Aquarius. So it's a significant full moon, so it could happen. The only thing that's kind of making me feel like it won't happen is the technicals aren't lining up the way it lined up before for the move into the waning period, okay? And I say that because we started going up on the squeeze just like we were doing it over here. And now we're kind of dipping on the squeeze, and we're kind of dipping on there, and we could get a big move. This could be a dip before the rip, just like it did right here on the MACD. But look at the volume, okay, before that full moon. The volume started coming into the full moon, and then after the full moon, we continue to get the volume, okay? We're not getting any volume really. I don't see any significant volume coming into this Monday, the day after this full moon, okay? So that's the main reason why I believe we're not going to see a big move into this waning period. However, we could continue to go up because the technical analysis does line that up for us to continue to go up. So I'm not going to deny that maybe we are going to go up on this waning period for once. And shout out to you know who you are. Someone actually said, hey, maybe this Uranus retrograde that we literally just got on Friday is going to reverse the phases of the moon for AMC, and that's a possibility. I'm not going to say no to that. That could happen. Again, the technicals are lining up for that, and we haven't had any type of full moon pop in a really long time. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is basically keep these lines in here that we have. Okay, if we get anywhere between the $38 level, we're gaining strength, okay? We're getting past the breakout on the previous phases, okay? But we really need to be past the 46 level mark for us to say we're in any type of squeeze territory, okay? For any type of pop regarding the moon, okay? Now, the next new moon is on October 6th, or excuse me, is on September 6th. That's the next new moon. That's the next waxing phase, okay? So you guys know I get a little bored during the waning periods, and that's the September 6th is my new time frame for us to start getting really big moves with the moon, okay? But the technicals are looking like we could continue the squeezing, or we could continue consolidating like we normally do on the waning period and waiting till the full moon on the 6th. So I'm going to take a quick look at the stars this week and tell you the main themes that I see, and we'll go from there. And if you made it this far in this video and haven't hit that like button and want to show support, go ahead and hit the like button. I would appreciate that. And if you're a Moon Lord and not on the Discord, you should be on the Discord, because all sorts of DD is going down on there that you guys are missing out on. Not to mention the Moon Lords have a great community at the Market Moon Lord Discord. Awesome people there, and you guys know I appreciate you guys. And if you're new here, haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. All right, so let's take a look at the stars. Welcome to the Market Moon Lord, where we merge the matrix with the stars. I'm your host, Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. Okay, everyone, so we have Monday pulled up, August 23rd for AMC. This is their birth chart. So, as you guys can see, we got a lot of red lines coming into Monday. You guys know red lines can be not the most pleasant thing. They're more of a harsh transit. However, it can create a lot of traction. It can create a lot of energy. Squares are energy. Squares are traction. These little red angles, they're a lot of energy, okay? So sometimes a square can work as a charge, okay? But it can work negatively more than likely, okay? But I'm not going to really focus on price action. I'm more so going to focus on what the chart is just saying for the overall chart or the overall stock, what's happening with the company. As you guys know, the stock is so manipulated ever since we had that big run of 70. It's like the stars and everything haven't been as potent with price action, and I'm just going to blame that on stock manipulation, because there's been several aspects where it looked like we're going to pop and we simply didn't, okay? And I think everyone can agree a lot of the technicals can't really tell us much about price action because of all the manipulation. But anyway, let's just see what we see, okay? So right off the bat, we got a lot of Mercury energy from the natal chart of AMC and from the transiting Mercury, okay? So I do like it when AMC is getting Mercury aspects, because that has been the best stock mover for positive growth so far since I've been tracking AMC's financial astrology, is Mercury aspects, okay? So coming into the week, we have a lot of strong Mercury aspects, and then later this week, we're going to have some more very bullish Mercury aspects. So this week, right off the bat, I'm expecting a lot of information, a lot of talk on AMC. I'm also expecting potential catalyst type news that will move the stock. Now, there are a lot of squares going on, so it could be bad news. However, sometimes when we just have news in general, is good for the AMC community, and it looks like we're going to be getting lots of news coming into next week. But bad angles to Mercury also give us good results as well, okay? So the natal Mercury has been dealing with this Neptune square, okay? That's obviously has a lot to do with deception. I don't need to cover that aspect anymore, because that's been there the entire time. Neptune went retrograde and is just re-hitting it again. But what I really like to see is Mercury square Mercury. This is like, whenever you have Mercury square Mercury, it's like you're being forced to communicate something. You're being forced to deal with the details of something. Okay, you're being forced to look at the numbers, forced to be very analytical. So AMC is definitely making precise decisions behind the scenes with the Mercury square Mercury and Mercury square Neptune. And don't be surprised if we see catalyst type news, especially news involving deception with what's currently happening with this Neptune square and the Mercury square Neptune. Mercury is in this ruling planet or ruling sign of Virgo, so it's very strong. The moving Mercury in the sky is very strong right now, and look at the aspect that's making, okay? It's making a square to Mercury, forcing communication, forcing us to look at the details, forcing us to be analytical, forcing AMC to look at the numbers, okay? Forcing AMC to communicate something. Now, the transiting Mercury is getting a sextile from Saturn. That's about building. That's about strategizing, okay? That could also be like a milestone-like energy. So the communication could be us communicating something that AMC's been working on behind the scenes that they finally completed and they're going to bring to the light. Okay, I'm saying that they're working behind the scenes because the other Mercury is getting a square from Neptune. Okay, now this Mercury is also getting a sextile from Jupiter. Jupiter deals with anything legal matters, and Jupiter is very expansive at that. So anything dealing with Mercury dealing with legal matters, AMC dealing with legal matters, does look good this week. Does look like we could be getting some news this week, and it could be one of those things where it's bad news, but it's to our benefit. Okay, so we could find out some more bad manipulation has been going on. Some false numbers have been going on, and then this Mercury square Mercury is about to clean that up and is about to expand us because of that cleanup. Okay, and that sextile to Saturn can be like a milestone like energy. So coming into this week, getting all this Mercury aspects, yes, this could definitely bring catalyst type news to us. Okay, now another thing I'm going to mention about this week in particular is Uranus just went retrograde on Friday. Okay, now you guys know me and Emily been looking at this Uranus aspect, it going retrograde. That has shown to move this whole entire stock market every single time. Okay, and so on what was it, Wednesday and Thursday we went red, and then Friday when Uranus went retrograde we went green. Okay, and so did GameStop for that matter. And it was a very interesting Friday when Uranus went retrograde. So if we follow that Uranus retrograde trend, we could start trending up. Okay, or that could have been the final uptrend just for the reversal to come in for a downtrend. Okay, so I'm going to keep an eye on this Uranus retrograde. Another thing I'm finding very interesting about this Uranus retrograde is it looks like it's going to go back to hit to start being opposite AMC's North Node. So I'm going to take a quick look at when that's going to be, because that could be a huge indication of some positive price action when that happens. Okay, so give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm just throwing that out there. When Uranus goes forward again, which is a huge stock mover, it's going to be all the way until January 2022, January 19th to be exact, okay? So keep that in mind that Uranus goes direct during that time, and then during that time, it will also be opposite the North Node, which is a huge stock mover. And the last time Uranus was in this area, we had really good price movement. And you can see it's making some really interesting aspects. One of those aspects is Uranus sextiling the moon for AMC. The moon for AMC is very strong because it's at home. And then it's also making a very powerful trine to Uranus, or to Pluto, which Pluto is definitely looking sexy, being right on top of AMC's Venus and on top of the Senate for AMC, trying to transform AMC, trying to take certain things over, especially merger like energy, because Venus has a lot to do with relationships. Pluto has a lot to do with takeovers, power. So this could be merger type activity. This could be them gaining more power, period. And then also the sextile to the moon is very positive for AMC. It looks like the transformation will be very, very positive and almost like destiny-like energy. Okay, so just off the fact that Uranus is going retrograde and it's going to be opposite the North Node, it does look like January next year is very significant time for AMC. And look at the first house, guys. All right, we're going to have the sun in the first house. We're going to have Mercury in the first house. Mercury is also sextiling that Uranus, or the AMC's Uranus, and we're going to have Saturn in the first house along with Jupiter in the first house. Last January, when we have whatever that was, the first squeeze or FOMO, we had a similar setup. We had Mercury in the first house because it was around the same time. Mercury will always be around that Aquarius time, and so will the sun in the first house. Okay, and then when the moon comes over here on the new moon, we're gonna have a lot of planets in the first house. That looks very similar to the end of last July when we went really high the first time. Okay, so that is looking very suspicious for that time period. But I just wanted to mention that to you guys. Let me know if anybody sees anything else coming up into January for any type of bullish energy for AMC. I'm not saying we're going to squeeze then, but I am saying the chart is looking very significant into 2022, and then Uranus going direct around that time period is just more fuel to the fire. Okay, let's go back to this week. Okay, so I just had to go in the future to tell you guys that time frame, just because I really do feel like there's a strong possibility that this is a 2022 thing. Okay, I was really looking forward to this current full moon, and it doesn't really look like we're gonna get that full moon pop. I really, really wish we would have, but it does not look like it's set up for that at all. Okay, so it looks like we are definitely still going to be going forward here, and this is still going to get dragged out. Okay, that's what the stars are telling me based on historical data. Now, another thing I want to talk about coming into this week is what's happening with Jupiter energy. Jupiter energy deals with legal matters and is very, very expansive energy. It's all about abundance. It's all about expanding, giving you the experience you're looking for. Jupiter is considered the luckiest planet in astrology, and for AMC, it is also exalted over here. Okay, so we have the exalted Jupiter for AMC, and this exalted Jupiter is making really positive transits. One sextile to Mercury. Mercury deals with the details. Jupiter deals with legal matters. That's very good for us beating any legal matters or legal matters coming into our favor. Okay, and it's making a sextile to Mars. Mars is energy. It is the warrior. It is the fighter. Okay, and Jupiter is all about fighting for justice when it gets a touch from Mars. So definitely look for justice coming into this week. Definitely look for AMC to make moves for justice on the stock, and definitely look for AMC to be fighting for us. Okay, AMC looks like it's here to fight for us. It's here to pay attention and focus on the details for us, and it looks like very expanding energy. Okay, now the sun in the sky, or excuse me, AMC's sun is getting a sextile from the Jupiter that's moving in the sky. Is it 0 degrees? Yes, it is 0 degrees, almost dead smack on there. And that's very, very positive energy. This full moon was right next to that Jupiter. Okay, again, so this is the company, the sun of a company is reputation, it's the management. Jupiter deals with legal matters, so this could be really good for us making some adjustments and making some moves with legal matters involving AMC, and the sun can be expanding. Jupiter can expand the company's reach, can expand the company's illumination. Okay, so this could be very good energy for volume. Okay, this could be very good energy for more eyes on AMC, more attention on AMC for this week. I'm really feeling that. Now, the moon will be in a water sign of Pisces, and so I'm very bullish on what that's going to do, because whenever the moon travels through this Pisces sign, it usually moves the stock very, very positively. I would say 75% of the time. You guys know I've been tracking this long enough to say that, okay? So let's go ahead and look deeper into the week and see what we see. Okay, so on Monday and the whole week, we have a lot of Venus aspects, but on Tuesday, we come into a new Venus aspects from the natal Venus is making a sextile to the moon. The moon is really about the masses of the people. Venus is about communication, about things looking beautiful cosmetically. The moon deals with anything with the public, okay? So AMC is making some aesthetic changes for the public to make the public happy. The public could be just getting a lot of emotional pull towards AMC. I can see a lot of people probably going to the theaters this weekend and coming into the following weekend after that for this reason. And now the Venus in the sky is making an opposition to Uranus, okay? Uranus deals with the future. Uranus deals with technology, breakthroughs into the future, pioneering. Venus deals with anything involving the artist, so it has a lot to do with theaters. Anything involving cosmetic changes, anything involving in branding, and anything involving mergers and communication and coming together with other relationships for AMC. So I definitely see some type of breakthrough happening this week with AMC, potentially with merger activity or futuristic ideas getting presented to us. So I'm very, very excited for that. Now, Venus is making a square to Pluto. That's not positive. Pluto is cuts. Pluto and Venus don't really go along. But Venus is at home in Libra, so it could be a rebalancing act happening, because this Pluto's in Capricorn. That's all about building, this Pluto's in Capricorn. That's all about building structure. It's all about building a better foundation, okay? So AMC could be getting rid of certain structures to build a better structure. It could be getting rid of some theaters or some partnerships to bring in some better partnerships, okay? And then the square to the moon, we got a lot of moon energy going on, okay? The square to the moon could suggest some type of changes when it comes to how AMC is dealing with the public, and how the public is also dealing with AMC. Okay, so a lot of Venus energy, a lot of communication, a lot of aesthetic changes, a lot of brand changes. There could be some negative transformations, some negative cuts with this. Venus also deals with money. It's getting a square from Pluto. Okay, so Pluto's sudden ups and downs. Now, square, remember, brings a lot of energy. Okay, so this, to me, Uranus is volatile, Pluto is volatile, and it's fast volatility, okay? So I do think this week's going to be one of those weeks where we're getting a lot of different movements, okay? Lots of fluctuation with all this Mercury energy. There's a lot of catalyst-like news happening. There's a lot of Jupiter energy happening, so there could be some legal matters, some government matters getting involved with the situation, and this Venus aspects could be a little bit of give and take energy, okay? A rebalancing energy. AMC could be rebalancing their expenses and rebalancing their theater network, rebalancing certain things with the company's management, okay? Because we do have some sun activity happening as well, okay? So let's go further into the week. So I have Wednesday put up for AMC. And look at the moon, okay? We have 2 squares from the moon, transiting moon, and 2 squares to the natal moon, okay? Now, right here is conjunct Uranus. The moon going over Uranus is definitely, without a doubt, a stock mover, and it's moved the stock many times. And typically, it does it in a positive way, but there's a lot of squares going on coming into Wednesday, okay? So, that's scary. That's a little scary, but Uranus is super, super volatile. Moon square moon 0 degrees is also very volatile, and to me this is more of a harsh energy, and then the square to Pluto is very harsh as well. Okay, so I'm definitely expecting some serious volatility on Wednesday. I think whatever we get on Tuesday, it might go opposite on Wednesday based on this shift of energy coming into Wednesday. And we also have a moon square Venus 0 degrees. Okay, so we have a lot of Venus getting squared. This doesn't look positive. However, this can definitely be us getting rid of certain relationships and getting better relationships. This could be more energy and more people trying to come in for AMC to help AMC at the same time. Okay, but it does look very harsh. It does look very strong, okay? And then the sun is opposite Neptune 0 degrees, and then the transiting Neptune is square Mercury and making a trine to midheaven, okay? So a lot of Neptune energy that deals with deception, that's dealing with the things behind the scenes, coming in on AMC this week, and we could be getting some significant news, and we could also be getting a lot of things revealed to us that we had no idea about coming into this week. Now, one thing I really, really like for this week is what's happening with the midheaven. Sextile to Mercury 0 degrees, that's communication with the company, the company's reputation. That looks like really good news. Trying the midheaven that has been getting, but now 0 degrees, we're taking care of behind the scenes. And then the sextile of the Pluto is also behind the scenes work, and this also can signify some merger activity or things being taken over by AMC, okay? So this week looks jam-packed for all sorts of news to move the stock. It looks super volatile this week, I'm not going to lie. Now, on Thursday, AMC is making my favorite position, and that is the moon trine Mercury, especially from Aries. I would say 80% of the time this moves the stock up. However, the Saturn sextiling Mars, whenever we get Saturn Mars energy, it's almost always down. Okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. Whenever we get this Saturn Mars energy, it's almost always down. And transiting Mars is making a very explosion-like energy with Jupiter, which could be expansion, but it could also be a lot of cutting. Yeah. Now remember, Saturn deals with structure, Saturn deals with the hierarchy, Saturn deals with foundation, also deals with keeping the rules. Jupiter deals with justice, Mars is the warrior. So we're definitely in a fight, okay? And AMC does look like it's winning that fight. but it looks like it's one of those fights where we're taking bruises as well. Okay, but overall, it does look like AMC's winning that fight. But there's a lot of Pluto energy in the air. They're all positive aspects, but still, I've seen it so many times where we're getting positive Saturn Mars energy and it doesn't go in our favor. Same with Pluto. Okay, so keep that in mind. But having the moon hitting Mercury right here with all this Mercury energy, this looks like one of those weeks we can really get some catalyst news. Although there's a lot of harsh aspects throughout the whole week, a lot of squares throughout the whole week, that's a lot of energy that's not that harmonious, but that could be a lot of energy that's pushing us to go forward, pushing us to take care of the legal matters, pushing us to take care of justice, pushing us for justice, pushing a lot of attention to AMC, okay? So there's a lot of good and bad with this. We are into a waning period, so unless we come into Monday with a big push forward, I don't see these squares working in our favor. But long term, I see AMC is building up towards something, taking things over, making a lot of adjustments behind the scenes, and AMC's in this fight to win it. I truly believe that. And you can just look at Adam Aaron's Twitter and the vibe he's having. Like, he's really, 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 really in it to help us. He's really in it to beat the hedgies, okay? So I do like that energy from him. I do like his movement. I do like AMC's movement. We just killed the earnings. I think we could just be coming into this week to get a whole bunch of new bullish energy. We might be finding out some bad things, bad deception. AMC might be getting rid of some theaters. AMC might be making some changes. But overall, it looks like it's headed towards a certain direction. Positively, I mean, look at the midheaven. The midheaven is the highest point of your chart. It's the career sector of your chart. It's what you're doing in the world. And this midheaven is lit with a sextile to Mercury, a sextile to Pluto. That's very transformative for the better. Very good for gaining more power. Very good for more communication happening with AMC. And the trine to AMC's Neptune is taking care of the deception. Okay, so if we end up dipping, I'm only going to be buying dips. Okay, I don't think they can dip us under $30. We barely go under 30 these days. I think that is kind of like the floor as of right now. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see how it plays out. I'm not gonna make crazy price action predictions because it's just the stock manipulation. We're not seeing the price action the way we need to. Okay, but I can say AMC is looking to build better foundation, looking for justice, looking to look at all the details and plan accordingly to make AMC to be a success. I mean, after all, Mercury is in this ruling position of Virgo, making positive aspects to the midheaven, squaring the sun, forcing AMC to really, really dig deep, really, really investigate, really, really strategize, okay? And Adam, that's the sun's reputation. The sun's also company management. They have a strong, it looks like they're going to be working hard this week. It looks like the Mercury square is suggesting that they need to go to work and fix the details, fix the fine print, dot the I's, cross the T's, and take care of business, especially the business behind the scenes with the Mercury square Neptune. Let's look at Friday. Okay, so coming into Friday, Venus in the sky is no longer aspected anything and is basically releasing a lot of that energy. Okay, so that's really, really good. Whatever was happening with Venus, it looks like towards the end of the week, we're going to see the results of that. Venus was opposite Uranus, trying to make some things happen, whether it's changing aesthetics or making some adjustments for futuristic movement, whether it has to deal with money like crypto, or it has to deal with things aesthetically, or it has to deal with them ending certain relationships and building new relationships. But it looks like on Friday, that strong energy with Venus has been released. Mercury is no longer making a positive transit to the midheaven. It's just making a square to the sun, 0 degrees. And so it looks like we are going to get big news on Friday. So whatever, and even the Mercury over here is no longer making an aspect with the moon. Okay, so no more news. The news is going to happen before Friday. If we do get news on Friday, it's not going to be the best news because of the square to the sun. That is 0 degrees. However, we're still getting some Mercury energy. I'm not hating on that at all. And now the Mars sextile to Jupiter is now 0 degrees, much tighter with Saturn. That could be a milestone type energy. The sun will be opposite Neptune, still taking care of things behind the scenes, okay? So Friday looks a little bit more dull than the other days. The moon is making an aspect to Neptune, also trying to take care of behind the scenes. Let me see if the moon conjuncts this north node over here that day. Hold on. Okay, so coming to the end of the day Friday, looks interesting. I'm at 3:30 up, and the moon will be making a exact opposition to AMC's north node. That's destiny-like energy. That's also a stock mover energy opposition. It could be very fast-moving energy as well because that north node is in Scorpio. And this is making a moon sextile. Okay, so we got a moon opposite the north node, and then a moon sextiling moon, or sextiling the moon of AMC. So it could really be like the last Friday we just had, where we dipped really long, and then towards like 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock we started going up. We finally went green, and then when we ended up a 1.5%. Okay, so it could be one of those days on Friday where it doesn't start off too well, but it ends a lot better than it started. Okay, because there's a shift of energy through that day. But yeah, overall this week, guys, we got a lot of Mercury energy. This Mercury will trine Venus again, trying to make aesthetic changes, merger changes, relationship changes, changes with money and the numbers and how they're spending money. All that stuff could be at play here. All the Mercury energy with Neptune energy, with Jupiter energy, would suggest us taking care of things behind the scenes, would suggest certain changes happening with not only what's happening behind the scenes, but how they're trying to construct AMC going forward to make it a stronger, better company. Okay, so you guys let me know if that's lining up with you guys' DD. You guys let me know if there's any legal things that are happening for this week, because I'm curious. That could be very catalyst-like news. Let me know if there are any news that we're anticipating for AMC that is like a catalyst like energy, because you guys know I'm not really paying attention to the news. I get the news literally from the Moon Lords. Shout out to the Moon Lords. I'm always reading what you guys post in there, because it definitely helps me understand what's happening in the world, revolving the technical sides and all that good stuff. Okay, so if you guys have anything you guys want to let us know in the comments below. If you guys agree with what we're seeing in the stars, let us know in the comments below. If you guys are new here, haven't subscribed, just to hit the subscribe button. If you guys are a Moonlord and you're not in Discord, check us out at the Market Moonlord. That Discord is awesome. A lot of great people in here. And if you made it this far in the video, haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button. All right. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I will continue to make these predictions and track the stars each and every week. The more and more we go, the more and more I say 2022. I mean, hey, I'm only buying calls, by the way, for 2022. I've been doing that like this last month, and if I buy any calls, it will literally be for 2022, and to be precise, I'm buying calls for January or July of 2022. Okay, so keep that in mind. But hey, the AMC is gonna hit the come up. We just have to wait. We just have to buy and hold. AMC has a lot of climax energy. There's so many retrogrades in the air, and you guys know retrogrades isn't a time of things moving forward. Okay, it's more of a time of things going backwards, more of a time of retuning, reanalyzing, and restriction. When all these things go forward, and that's going to be in October. This is going to go forward. This is going to go forward. This is going to go forward in October. I'm pretty sure Neptune goes forward in October. That's going to be really forward-moving energy for AMC. And what's really cool about Saturn going forward is happening in the first house of AMC. And Jupiter is also going forward in the first house of AMC. That's very, very expansive-like energy for Jupiter to go forward and for AMC in the first house. And Saturn going forward AMC in the first house is a very big milestone, a chapter being completed and a new chapter opening. Okay, but anyway, we're gonna leave it there. If you guys appreciate this video, hit that like button. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'm Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. You're watching the Market Moonlord, where we merge the matrix with the motherfucking stars. Until next time, peace.
Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune.